I want to talk to you about the very major crisis that is happening in not just Malaysia, but around the world. I want to talk to you about refugees. So how many of you know what refugees are? Like, really know what refugees are? Cannot see one? So few of you, all right. So, so refugees are, I need to put everyone on the same page, okay? So refugees are people that have to leave their country due to persecution, war, or conflicts that are happening back in their country because it's just not safe enough to stay there anymore, and they have to seek refuge from another country to live a better life. So I want to introduce you to a boy. This boy, he is 5 years old. He's from Myanmar. He's a boy from our one of our closest family, and he is a very hardworking, very diligent, very dedicated, full of energy boy, and very helpful and kind. His name is Picha. So Picha came from Myanmar with his family, and unfortunately, Picha is. Can I have the next slide, please? Unfortunately, Picha is one of the 65 million refugees that are currently in the world. Out of these 65 million refugees, only 1% gets resettled. When I talk about resettlement, it means that when they seek refuge from another country, they have to register themselves as a refugee and then get an opportunity to resettle to another country, to become the citizen there and have all the rights that they're supposed to have. And so what happens to the rest of the 99%? So the rest of the 99% either end up, can I have the next slide please? Can either end up back in their country where it's still war-torn. This is Syria, who is constantly bombing until today. This is Afghanistan. Taliban are there. No rights for education, no rights for girls to be outside. Or they end up in refugee camps, places like Jordan, where there is no electricity, no education, no food, and very, very less supplements for them. So Picha and his family came to Malaysia and became one of the 150,000 registered refugees. But because our country didn't sign the 1951 UN Refugee Convention, so there are no refugee camps in Malaysia, so there's no support for them. They don't have legal rights to work, and they don't have access. Students like Picha won't have access to quality education. So that's a whole overview of the refugee crisis that is happening in Malaysia. And I want to tell you a bit about the work that I do. This is last week. This is the whole concert team. I told you that I conduct refugee choirs. So we actually organize fundraising concerts for their education. And this was one of it. It was all the students there with our committees, and we presented a musical choir of how their refugee lives from Myanmar all the way to Malaysia. So these kids did an amazing job presenting to 300 to 500 people, and everyone almost cried on that day. And I want to introduce you to next two of my other co-founders. So this is me. Right, so this is Swee Lin. Swee Lin is an accounts and finance background who actually worked in Le Meridian finance department before. And this is Suzanne. She's a psychology graduate. Once she was part of the Picha Project team. So how it happened is that 4 years ago we were all volunteering in a refugee learning center. I'm a musician, so I teach music. That's all I know lah. So and 2 years after, a lot of our kids started dropping out of school. Like from 20, it drops to 18, and then eventually it drops to 5. So if I were to teach a choir, I cannot teach 5 kids singing. It'd be like I cannot even present anything on stage. So After that, we realized this problem, so we went home visitation trying to understand why the kids are dropping out of school. So we asked the parents, why are you not sending your kids to school? And they mentioned that, well, they have to come back and support the family. Some of them needs to go out and work for odd jobs to sustain the family, especially parents that faces accidents or any physical conditions that is not available to perform work. So the students or the kids have to go back and sustain the family. So it was really shocking for us. Why is it that way? And only we find out that within the refugee community, because they are not allowed to work, so a lot of them cannot even find probably a decent salary to sustain their lives in Malaysia. We were really, really worried about their situation, and we thought that to ourselves, there must be something that we can do. And at the same time, all of them can cook, because even my younger student can cook for his whole family. And like, wow, I'm 27 years old, I don't even cook anything. So it was really, you know, that thought of us, okay, maybe we can use these cooking skills, create a platform for them, and be able to let them showcase their food to Malaysians like you all. And so the Picha Project came about, and we named the Picha Project after Picha. The next slide, please. Okay, it's after Picha. So that is Picha, right from the first photo you saw. And then this is our first family. Her name is Ganu. Her name is not Ganu, we call her Ganu. Ganu in Chin, it means mother, because we want to create a bond within all our families and make them realize that we're not doing this for profit. We're doing this to assist people like you. And this was where we started off. We started off with packagings like that because we have no idea. I told you what we do, right? Right? What am I? I'm a musician, yes. You're listening. So, so three of us have no business background. We don't know anything about F&B. We don't know how to do anything. So this was what we got. When you don't know how to do anything, what you do? You Google, lah. So whatever, also you Google from how to package, and can I have the previous slide, please? From how you package the stuff to how does Myanmaris eat and things, everything, we just Google and we try, and this is our first sales. It looks very depressing, but yes, this is our first sales. So from there, we started experimenting, and then we got into an accelerator program last year, April, and we started expanding to Afghanistan, to Palestine, to Syria, to Iraq, and today we have 10 families cooking from 5 different countries cooking with us. And we went on, of course, we went on to improve our services so that more customers can actually purchase from us with ensured food quality, hygiene, and safety, and knowing that everything is well done from the refugees. So this is how we package ourselves. This is how we did our photography. Can I have the next slide? And then we went on to Google again, to Google how to do catering services, how to decorate tables like this, and how to even set up a chefing dish. We don't even know this was called chefing dish, right? So we learned everything on ourselves, and we created a whole service and experience for our customers, and of course assisting the refugees at the same time. So today, we're actually in our 15th or 16th month already. We have 10 families from 5 different countries with us, serving more than 40,000 packs of food, gaining a revenue of nearly $1 million for the past 1.5 years. And half of them actually goes back to the families that cook and sustain their lives in Malaysia, serving people, big brands that are in Kuala Lumpur. Can I have? So a lot of people ask us why. Why do you do this? Why 3 of you too free? Got nothing to do, is it? Or musician cannot earn money? That's not true. So I want to tell you a story about a family that is really close to our heart, and that he is the reason why we are doing what we are doing today. So this guy here, his name is Zaza, This is his wife. This is his monster. That's a monster. It's really a monster. So 3 of them came from Syria. And the moment they realized that, I'm sure a lot of you know what's happening in Syria right now, right? With all the social media and things. So they came from Syria. The moment they decided that they have to leave Syria is when his wife was sending this monster, that time it was 1 year old, to the hospital to get a vaccination because he was just 1 year old. And on the way to the hospital, a bomb flew by, hit on the 22-story condominium. Everyone and everything perished inside. At that moment, the wife realized that the road towards the hospital is just too dangerous. We have to head back. So she took her 1-year-old boy back to the home, only to realize the next day that every kid that received the vaccination on that day all passed away because the vaccination took too long to reach to where they were and everything was expired. And they were really, really lucky. They felt really lucky. But they know that Syria is not a place to stay in anymore. And so Zaza sold off everything and trusted an agent that actually promised him a good house, good living, good job in Malaysia, only when they fly here to find out that there is no rights to work and there is no home to stay and everything he has to restart again. It was really, really devastating for him at that time. It was 4 years ago. And he had to use social media, like how we do today, Google, Facebook, and to promote his food. He was a professional chef back in Syria. So he could use that media to actually promote his food and get by day until he met the Picha Project. So when he met the Picha Project, he became one of the most famous kitchen in the Picha Project. Everyone wants him. Everyone says, can I use Zaza? I must have Zaza's kitchen, huh? Okay. So he made a really good fortune for himself. Everything was really stable. He worked really hard from 5 packs to 200 packs. If it's 200 packs the next day, he doesn't sleep the whole night. And he knows that he understands the vision of the Picha Project. He knows that he has to be really, really professional because if he is not professional, all the families are affected. So he knows that he has to be at the top notch and he is always experimenting things with the Picha Project to be able to move forward. And he got a really stable life after that. He was like, oh, I can go here, I can go there. Sometimes he was taking some festival pictures with, for us. Until this February, unfortunate things happened where he got into a sickness. He got cancer. And in Malaysia, for a refugee to receive treatment is really, really hard because of the prices, because of the treatment they get in hospitals. So it was really heartbreaking for us when we knew that he is hospitalized. So our co-founder, Suzanne, drove 12 a.m. in the midnight, bring him to the hospital to actually get hospitalized. So he received a lot of people supported him. A lot of people had his food. A lot of people know who is Zaza. So his medical fee was all settled. But still we lose him in May 8th. May 8th, 27, we lose Zaza. And we lose not just a great chef, we lose a good brother, we lose a good friend, we lose a great family. And it was really, really taunting for us. Before he left, when he was bedridden, he said this, I want to cook chicken mandi for whoever that are really in need during the Ramadan month at the masjid area. And he was bedridden. He lost everything. He had to use all his saving to pay for the medical fee. He lose it second and third time. But he was thinking of other people. We're like, what are you thinking? And for everyone that is here, that is so privileged, sitting in a aircon room, listening to TED Talks and things like that, I wonder how many poor people are suffering that doesn't have what we have right now. And can we do better than that, right? He has done so much. Can we do better than that? So that is why the Picha Project is holding on to Zaza's spirit and wanting to continue to impact more and more families like him. Everyone says that refugees, they're so dirty. They're here to steal our jobs. They're here to, I don't know, they're here to spread diseases. How many of you can say that here? No. They are here because they have to. And on 10 of them, if we ask them, where do you want to go? They will tell you the same. Everyone says the one thing, I want to go home. But there is no home to go. So can we Malaysians build a home for them here? That is a question. That is why we are doing what we're doing today. Can I have the next? So a lot of people ask us, how can I be part of this movement? Well, I'm not really good. I'm not like Mother Teresa. I'm not like Nelson Mandela. I'm not like, I'm not like God. I cannot help everyone. I have to help myself first. But how can you be you and still make a change? In the Picha Project, we don't always force people to do something they're not good at and to help people. But how can you be you and still make a change? If you're an architect student, if you're a mass comm student, how can you use your skills to make a change in this world? It doesn't have to be humanitarian cause. Our environment are suffering too. So how can you use those skills that you are studying right now to enrich the world and save the world today? This is me in Manila speaking to 2,000 students, 2,000 people from all over from ASEAN. And 2 days before my grandmother passed away, and I had to fly to Manila. And the thing here is that I was a musician. I couldn't speak like how I'm speaking today to you. I cannot. I will freak out. And probably I'm now still trembling a bit. But here is me talking to 2,000 people, trying to make them change makers, trying to tell them that change is possible. And here we have probably 200 people that can be the ambassador of that. You, right here, can be the ambassador of making a change. So this is a small symbolism of world peace here. This is all our family, around 6 of them, 4 of them are not inside. This is a small symbolism of world peace where we don't look at races, we don't look at different backgrounds, we don't look at different religion, but we all come together and we know one thing. If we do what we're doing right here, it can be expanded, it can be microscoped, it can go around the world to spread world peace. And everyone, single one of them knows that. Can we all here acknowledge that too? And if you see, most of them are in Tudong, right? They are actually Muslims. So how does 3 co-founders, Chinese, that has all different religion, are assisting Muslims to gain a sustainable living in Malaysia? Can I have, so, yes. So I really want to give back the question to you. Can we all eliminate such discrimination, such judgmental comments, such differences, and all come together, make a change in this world? How can you be you and start making a change today? Thank you very much.